What's up, everybody?
Yeah, we back.
How you doing? I'm doing the Towley voice from South Park. Wanna
What's
get high?
I don't know how they think of all the shit they do for South Park.
Oh, they're geniuses. Did you ever see that documentary on South Park where they I don't know who did it, maybe HBO did it, or somebody did it. Maybe it was just Comedy Central, but they followed them around with a camera, and they went through the whole process of like what it's like to do the show, and like they show I think they have like a month. Is it a month or a week, whatever it is, to get it ready? But they're like on a tight fucking schedule, and then like mostly like the last few days, they're like coming up with ideas,
They just cram all the shit in, right?
giving it to the animators. They put it together, and then they go do the voices. But it's like really interesting how they make like, I mean, what's basically like a masterpiece in my mind with how funny it is and stuff. But they make like a masterpiece, and they do it like on such a tight schedule, and they just hammer it out. And I loved watching them in their creative process when they were in the boardroom, like figuring out what to do, like what, because basically like it's almost like me and you would sit there and fuck around and come up with some ridiculous scenario, and then they just put it in their show. They'd be like, and then Cartman's gonna fart, and then they're like, oh, that's fucking great, man. Let's fucking put that in, and then they put it in, and it comes out funny.
I know. It's crazy to think like what we think is like geniuses, and the shit that we've seen from South Park, and you're just like, nah, it's genius. But I heard them on a podcast once. They were talking and they were saying like, how do you come up with the ideas for the show? And they're just like, it's just whatever we want to talk about. Like he was like, I just farted in the middle of the night one night, and I felt like putting that in the episode. And they're like, yep, let's go with it.
Yeah, exactly. They'll like find like some little nugget in the news or whatever, and then they just kind of weave a crazy ass story. Remember when they made fun of Caitlyn Jenner? Oh my god,
that was so good. And Kanye West.
Funny. Yeah, they savaged them, man.
Joke?
Yeah, the fish dicks joke. Are you a gay fish? He's like, I don't understand. I'm not a gay fish. Why do people keep telling me I'm a gay fish?
Well, he was like Chris Rock. You just turned him into Chris Rock.
I did, yeah. So you were at the home run derby last week?
Yeah, I was. So I went to Florida for my boy's bachelor party. It was Friday, Saturday, and then a little bit of Sunday. And Sunday was the home run. No, Monday was the home run derby. But I went to his bachelor party. You ever been to Key West in Florida?
I have, yeah. I went.
Oh,
once.
You have?
Yeah, but I was young. I was with my parents. I was like, a kid.
I always knew people. I'm eating milk duds, by the way. That's my dinner.
People are gonna be pissed at your chew noises.
Yeah, sorry, they're all stuck to my teeth and shit. I bought them yesterday because I was gonna go to the movies and I don't want to pay for like candy at the movies.
Oh, so you bought them at CVS or something?
Yeah, I bought them at like the supermarket for like whatever 89 cents because they charged me like $1 million at the movies.
Yeah, they definitely do that.
I never ended up going for the movies.
Oh, Raisinets are my shit.
Dinner tonight.
And snow caps.
So anyway, I went down to Key West, and I've always been to Florida, but I've never gone to Key West. I've always just heard of people going there.
So you were on the bridge, that long-ass bridge?
Long-ass bridge. It's like one road highway. And my thoughts of Key West were, I don't really ever want to really go back there. It's like, it was one. So the bachelor party, my grandma lives in Hollywood, Florida. We went out to dinner that night on Friday. And then at 10 o'clock, I wasn't going to go out to Key West. I was going to drive the next morning and meet up with my boys and all that stuff. So let me drive out there. The drive was just...
So wait. You drove all the way?
Yeah, it was like 3.5 hours at 10 o'clock at night.
Wait, no, but how did you get your car to Florida? You drove to Florida first?
Oh, no, I rented a car out there.
Oh, okay.
Rented a car. But the drive, I was doing right for 3 hours, and then like the last half an hour, I'm usually okay with like if I'm going to fall asleep, I'll put my head out the window or something like that. Like on some Ace Ventura shit.
I thought you were going to say something that's like common that everybody does, and you're like I'll shove my head out the fucking window. Like, what the fuck is that? Like you're a dog.
I've gotten so... I don't want to pull over. Like if I'm in the car for that long, I just want to make it to my destination.
Yeah, you've done a lot of long drives too. Like you've done a lot of long drives.
So I had a half an hour left. This one I had to pull off for like 15 minutes. So finally I get there. They're at a strip club. I pull up to the strip club where they're at. It's like 3 a.m. And they're all drunk off their mind. And mind you, I had no idea of what Key West was like. But I pull up and it was just like sketchy. Like it was just it was nighttime, but I saw like some kids walking around, whatever. I was like, okay, this is just, the vibe I'm getting. It's a little weird. I pull up to the strip club.
It's kind of like empty, right? Like empty and tropical.
Super empty.
Tropically, yeah.
Tropically excuse me.
Are you eating gummy worms too or some shit?
No, I got Sour Patch.
He's got Sour Patch Kids and Milk Duds. This is fucking hilarious. I love this. You're eating like I'm the movie and you're watching me.
My diet, I'm telling you, I'll tell you about my diet in a second.
I can tell. It's not that good.
It's bad. So I pull up to the strip club. Quick story.
Mm-hmm. No, finish
Some
it up.
drunk ass kid walks up to my door and starts opening this shit up.
Oh shit.
He's like, "Yo, the Uber's here. The Uber's here."
Oh.
Some guy thought I was his Uber driver. So I'm completely sober. These kids are all drunk off their ass because it's time. It's the time for them to leave the strip club.
Right. Yeah.
So he thinks I'm his driver. I'm like, no, and I can't have a reasonable conversation with this kid. I'm like, "Yo, I'm not your Uber driver." He's like, "Yo, the Uber's here." He keeps opening my door. So I had to finally park, put my windows up, and I was like, "Dude, I'm not your fucking driver."
Oh shit.
So for a second, I experienced what it was like to be an Uber driver. I did think about being an Uber driver.
What ended up happening? Was he like, "Oh, my bad, man," or was he like,
No,
"No"?
nothing. He eventually just like a zombie, just walked away.
So Key West, you got there really late, and then what did you do? You just went to the hotel?
Went into the strip club with them. They were all bent, twisted, and I was there for an hour, just completely sober. So that was a lot of fun. Then the next day, we went fishing.
So you stayed at a hotel and then you went fishing?
Stayed at a hotel, went fishing.
You went out to fish or you did it on shore?
No, we rented this big ass boat.
Oh, you rented it? So somebody knows how to drive a boat and shit?
No.
You chartered a boat. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
But one, I get seasick. We're from New York, dude. We don't do shit like that.
Yeah. No, I used to never get seasick. Now I get seasick, and it's the worst thing ever. So what happened? You were throwing up?
No, I was just nauseous and I can't drink. If I'm nauseous, I'm not gonna want to drink a beer in hot ass weather on a boat, fishing.
No. How long were you out there for?
Probably 5 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, man. And I fished for a little bit, and I don't see. I got good for a little bit. It wasn't until the end I was a little sick.
But you don't see the appeal of it.
No, not at all.
I don't like it either.
You gotta touch some nasty ass dead shit and string it to the top. The dude was like, "Yeah, you just pick up whatever's on the ground and put it
the chum or whatever it is that they use." Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, that's just that simple. Just hold that and do that.
Yeah. Take that disgusting smelling dead thing and put it all on your hands and fucking hook it to the
And then you gotta throw it and he was like, you gotta clamp it to your side and hold it with your wrist.
What were you fishing for? What kind of fish was it? Did you go deep sea shit?
It was deep. It was we were in the mecca of fishing.
So you went for marlin or some shit or tuna?
I don't even know what it was, to be honest with you, what we were going for.
Okay.
But people were catching big shit on our boat.
Okay.
I caught 2 fish the whole time, but they weren't even big enough to keep.
Yeah.
They're little popper things that they die instantaneously when they get out of the water. But they were this. They were the tiniest.
So you got some shit that would have been bait for other fish if you were allowed to keep it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I got it, and the guy was like, "You brought that up all by yourself?" He tried to play me.
Damn. So then what happened? Did you see anything else in Key West or no?
It was just a weird vibe. So before we went,
it's not like Miami. It's nothing like Miami.
No, it was super sketchy. There was not a lot of cops. A lot of just homeless people.
Really? In Key West?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Homeless. It was like New Orleans on steroids, and it was just craziness. I was driving down the road, saw a kid with a bloody ass head just holding it, people standing around him.
I didn't know Key West was a party place like that. I thought it was just
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's wild. There's a long strip of bars. So before we went fishing, we went out with this big group. Half of us went to get the boat. The other half went to get beer and all this stuff. There was this homeless guy, no shirt, and he started fucking with my friend. He was like, "Yo," he was like, "I could do more push-ups than you and beat you up or something like that."
The fuck?
So they just were messing around with this guy. Later in the night, we saw the same homeless guy on the street. But the kid that he was fucking with didn't come out because he got too messed up the night before. So he stayed back at the hotel. My friend was like, I'll give you $10, like, if you come back to our hotel and, like, wake him up in his middle of his sleep. Like, homeless guy. So the fucking guy did it.
Oh, no.
So he comes back to our hotel, and I'm thinking, like,
that's
yo, this
not
is weird
cool.
as fuck. Like,
yeah, that's really weird.
Like, why is there a homeless guy back at our hotel? It's, like, not even that funny. So the guy came back to our hotel and is just chilling there.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, dude, it's time to go. Like, you got to get out of here. So he leaves at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. For some reason, I'm up at, like, 3:30 trying to, like, plug in my phone or something like that. I see the guy at our window. Like, he came back and is knocking on the window. So I was like, don't even look at this guy right now. Fucking, like, ignore him. My other friend wakes up and lets him back in the room. He's like, I think I left my T-shirt here. I was like, you weren't wearing a fucking T-shirt.
Oh, my God. What
so
the
he came
fuck?
back to the fucking room. I thought he was going to come back and, like, stab us and kill us and be like, yo, you guys fucked with me. Like,
shit, man.
Yeah.
That's a wild story. Holy shit.
There was a homeless guy chilling in our hotel, and I was like, this is weird. But he said he was, like, an Army veteran or whatever. But like,
fuck, man. They do. Damn it. There's over 50,000 homeless veterans. Like, that's fucking crazy that they haven't put together a program to, like, fucking give these people a small apartment or something. Like, that's crazy. I felt
bad, too, because, like,
that's
I don't know,
fucking crazy.
My friends weren't fucking with him because they gave him, whatever, like $10 or $20 to come back.
Yeah, no, but they were fucking with him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's fucking with him.
But the guy was, like, actually mad nice. He was like, you mind if I, like, sit down? He was like, you guys mind if I take a shower? And then I was like, it's a little weary, you know? But, like, I should have blessed him with a shower, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean...
Right?
Those people, they shouldn't even be homeless. The government should have fucking set up, like... I'm mad about this because there's a study that came out, like, a few years ago that I covered on my show that showed that you save money by giving, like, homeless people a tiny, like, one-bedroom apartment. And it's because taxpayers end up paying more if they're on the street. Because then they end up going in and out of jail, and they end up going to the hospital, and they end up the police have to take care of them a few times. Like, it just costs more when they're on the street than if you were to give them, like, a one-bedroom apartment. Yeah. And if they're think about it, they're fucking veterans. Like, people went to go fight, and then they come back, and it's like, fuck you.
I know. Wait, a lot of the times you don't know if the signs are true. You know, a lot of say they're veterans, but more than none, they probably were.
Well, we know there's over 50,000 homeless veterans in the U.S., so it's possible West. For sure.
Like, when I get off the highway in, like, Ohio or something like that on a road trip, like, there's tons of homeless people there that are probably veterans that fought, like, in like old wars and shit like that.
Yeah, I think there's over 600,000 homeless people and over 50,000 homeless veterans. So it's a problem, and nobody even fucking talks about it. No politician ever says, like, oh, we should fucking fix that. No, none of them ever say that.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, I mean, the Key West was a little sketchy out there. I wouldn't see myself going back to Key West. It was just a weird drive to get out there, weird spot, but came back to Miami, and the home run derby was dope.
Oh, yeah, the home run derby. That's what I was going to ask you about. So, how was that shit? Was it... I've never been to the home run derby. I've been to a few baseball games, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I was in the outfield, and we were under a canopy, so you couldn't really catch a home run ball.
I was going to say, did you get close to some? No?
But I got there early, and it's wild, because I went on Facebook Live, and I was just like, I'm at the home run derby, blah, blah, blah. And there's 2 Yankee pitchers in the outfield, like, catching warm-up. The ball rolls to one of them. He turns around and, like, looks up to throw the ball, throws the shit. There's mad people around me. Throws it right into my fucking glove. So I got it like technically a home run ball.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. There was, like, mad celebrities out there. Miami has, like, the most ridiculous women I've ever seen in my life.
Did you ever play baseball or no? Because I don't remember you ever playing it.
No, just, like, Little League and shit like that.
Little League? So you stopped when you were pretty young?
Yeah.
Playing baseball?
Yeah.
I never played baseball, but I have an embarrassing story. Speaking of, like competition, in middle school, you may have even, I don't know if you were there for this, but it was in middle school, and there was a football throwing contest that we had in gym class. Is this ringing a bell or no?
Nah.
So it was in gym class, and I remember like when we were going up to the like, you know, little concrete fucking fenced in area to do the contest. People were talking, like I was talking shit, like I was gonna freak it. I was talking shit, like I was like, I'm gonna love this shit, like this is fun. I love like throwing shit, and people were saying like they were almost like fucking ranking who they thought was gonna win. Like our friend Bobby, everybody was like, he's gonna beast it. Yeah, he's gonna beast it. And then that other kid who I always ran against and was always like just a little bit behind him in the sprint, that kid Greggy, they were like, he's gonna beast it.
Yeah.
He's gonna beast
Black
it.
dude, right? Mad athletic. Yeah.
And then people were saying I was too, but mostly because I was talking my own shit up. I was like, yo, I love this shit. Like this is gonna be so much fun. Because like I don't have like a crazy arm, but like I could throw a tennis ball pretty fucking far. And what me and Bobby were doing at the time is, on our own time, we would play like tennis ball golf. We would put like a little like basket or bucket like 150 yards away, and we would like throw it. You remember where I used to live? How there was like a fucking tennis court, and you could like go around it and shit, and like throw it and play golf with a. It's like throwing golf basically. So I thought I was nasty with throwing it. So
that's sort of a dope game, by the way.
It was fun as fuck. It was so much fun.
Because now they have something like that. I mean, it's for soccer on a golf course. I'm sure you've probably seen that. Soccer
that
golf.
Fun too, yeah. But my kick isn't as good as my throw, so I would probably want to throw it instead.
Yeah. So, my bad.
But, so anyway, when it was my turn to throw, I did like the fucking wind up, and I ran forward hard, and I went to go throw it, and I swear to God, man, like
just went up in the air.
Mid-throw, that shit just slips out of my hand and like drops behind me. I was so fucking embarrassed, man.
Who was around? Just Bobby or
everybody?
Everyone?
It was everybody. It was a whole class. It was a whole class.
Damn.
And there were people who were just totally unathletic, like people who got up there and were just like, who threw it past me.
Shit out of it, right?
I was like dead last. I was like, I wanted to cry, man. It was
people
so fucking embarrassing. I was clowning myself, but yeah, people were laughing and shit. I was like, nah, it's all right. That was a mistake or something, but I'm good.
That's usually how it works, son. The one who talks the most shit is usually the one who like just like fucks up.
It was so fucking embarrassing.
Damn.
Especially because like when it came to sprinting, I was nice, so like people thought like, oh, like we're gonna put you in the class of like, you know, like you're up there on whatever type of athletic shit we're gonna do. But not with that, man.
You should have just never threw it and just been like, nah.
I know. I should have just talked shit.
And then that's like
Trump.
I don't know if you've been following Trump, and also have you been following the Mayweather McGregor shit?
I haven't, but I heard that they were fucking going at it with each other. Like,
they're going at it, but it's too much shit talking. Like it's
so
to a point where it's like it's gonna be whack.
They're doing it to hype it on purpose, basically.
It's like WWF shit, and it's too much talking shit where it's to a point where it's like you're gonna fuck up on the fight because you're trying to build it up too much.
Not only that, man, but you got two people, like it's separate. They do separate sports. Like one is UFC, one is boxing. Whichever one you go to, I think that person's going to win. So they're doing boxing, so I think Mayweather's going to win. But if they were doing UFC, Conor McGregor would win.
But it's a fucking like actual boxers should be tight at McGregor. Like, yo, we've been doing this for years. Now you think you could just come in and beat Floyd Mayweather?
Well,
like a dude who nobody's beat?
Is it true, though, that didn't he do some boxing, like back in the day, or no? McGregor?
I don't know.
Or has it all been MMA?
I feel like it was, I mean,
I thought it was all MMA too, but I saw
a little boxing.
Somebody showed me a video of him, like, you know, like doing a warm-up or some shit or hitting the bag. And
like pre-UFC?
No, it was like recently.
Oh yeah, now he's training his ass off.
I know, but
boxing.
they were implying to me that like, oh, he had boxed before anyway. But maybe that's not true. Maybe he was just MMA because I only know him from MMA. But yeah, you're not going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Look, he's one of the best boxers ever.
Yeah.
Like, he really is. Like, even though, his fights aren't as fun to watch compared to, like, a Tyson fight, of course not. Tyson was, like, a purely offensive monster.
Yeah.
But he's the opposite. Mayweather's, you know, a defensive genius. Mm-hmm. He's going to beat him. Like, that's that guy. He literally hasn't lost.
Yeah.
So it would be a fucking miracle if Conor McGregor pulled it off. I don't know what he was thinking. He must have gotten in his own head to think like, oh, I'll take that fight. Like, I'll box fucking Floyd.
All
what
money.
the fuck are you talking about? Well, yeah, that's That's true. It's all about
But
the
it's
money.
to a point now where it's
But
like,
is Conor McGregor undefeated in UFC?
no, he got tapped out. Like he lost. He tapped out. He lost. I think a couple fights.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But he's just a big name, and he's
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like once you have that blemish on your record,
yeah.
it's like yeah, fuck it. I'll take another L. Just especially if it's for how much money are
Yeah.
they fucking making each?
He's got nothing to lose. If he loses, it's just like, he was a UFC fighter. He wasn't supposed to beat this guy.
How much money are they each making? Do we know?
Mayweather's making like 150 mil plus or something like that, and McGregor's like I don't know.
It's got to be about the same, no? I mean, he's a big enough
he's
name.
making less, but still a shit ton of money. I don't even know what they do with that money. James Harden just got paid $400 million or something like that from the NBA.
What?
They said in 2022, when he's, I don't know, some age that's old as fuck for basketball, he's going to be making almost $600,000 a game. A game, son.
That's unbelievable, man. What about the Knicks with Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Yeah.
What they pay him? $71 million.
71 mil, yeah.
We had him for like 33 cents previously.
They were the only team. They did that with Joakim Noah and just paid him like $70-something million, where every other team was like, we were just gonna give him like $3 million.
Yeah, yeah. The Knicks
no.
are like, look, we're gonna pay you this
million.
much, and then you're gonna get injured.
Oh,
He's like, that sounds good to me. Okay, here's the money. Now go get injured.
yeah, that's exactly what happened.
It's almost like they're trolling us. Like it looks like they're trolling us. Like we're gonna fuck with you right now. That's what it looks like.
I saw a funny ass meme that was Will Smith looking at his dad. And remember that old episode when he was like, why doesn't my dad love me anymore, man?
You talking about Fresh Prince?
Yeah.
So Will Smith was looking at Uncle Phil.
Yeah, talking about his dad, like not loving him.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one or no?
I do. Yeah. Why
And
does
the
he
meme
love
was
me?
like,
Yeah, I remember that.
Why don't the Knicks love winning, man? And it had Will with the father.
They've really not been good since 2000, right? I mean, they haven't been serious since. Maybe there was 1 year in there when it was,
1 year.
Jason Kidd, Carmelo Anthony, Shumpert, Novak, J.R. Smith, where we got somewhat far, right?
Yeah.
But
I actually saw a funny thing. There was an episode of Fresh Prince where he was like daydreaming into the future of being like Ashley's like father or something like that. He's supposed to be like old age with a mustache, and then they fast forward to like today, and he looks exactly like he did in the
oh man, really?
fast forward of like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Shit,
Yeah,
that's so weird.
that happens in a lot of movies where, I mean, if you look in the past, they're like, hey, in the year, I think the Jetsons or something like that, they're like, hey, the year 2017, and like someone was like, it's 2017 now, and we don't do any of the shit that the Jetsons did.
Yeah, that's true. Some
like,
things nailed it though. There was a
Back
commercial.
to the Future did that.
Who did that?
Back to the Future, they were like the Cubs were going to win the World Series or something. Like, but it was last year they did it, and then they won.
There
this
was some
year.
dude on Twitter who got it right, who got like the year right and shit. It was weird.
I saw something a guy wrote in his yearbook like the Cubs are going to win the World Series.
Yeah,
Is that what
too.
it was?
It was two. One was that, and one was a tweet where it was.
Really?
And it was done way before. Yeah, it's fucking creepy. But I guess you just take a shot in the dark with a year, and then whatever. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But there was a commercial back in the day. I forget which company it was. It was like IBM or somebody. They did it of what it's going to be like in, like 2015 or whatever. And in the commercial, there was like, it was almost like a Skype call before Skype calls existed. And they predicted that shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But then again, like, I mean, I guess these are the people who are developing the shit anyway. So, like, they're saying what they're going to come up. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
What was the next one? Artificial reality? No. What's it called?
Artificial intelligence?
No, it's the interfacing with reality thing. So, like, you put on, like, a glass or a contact or something, and, like, I would be sitting here, and it would look like to you I'm just looking through the air and touching shit, but I see the shit, like a screen that's not there that I'm doing shit on.
See, that's what bugs me out. You know what fucking bugged me out like that the first time I saw it?
What?
When they came out with the Bluetooth fucking headphones, and everybody had those shits. Like, I mean, you got to get used to it, but they used to be walking on the
talking,
sidewalks.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm talking to somebody on the phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when those first came out? Like, they'd have a Bluetooth on?
I do,
And I'll be like, yo, this dude, like, I don't know if he's talking to himself or if he's, like,
I do
I
remember
can't
that.
imagine what it would be like with the glasses and someone pointing and like fucking like.
But the thing is, that's so like the upside of that. The thing about that makes it so appealing is that you can basically go anywhere and have a screen in front of you without doing anything. So it's almost like
That's such a weird sentence.
So like you take out your phone and okay, I got to see X, Y, or Z, or you take out your laptop or your iPad, I got to see X, Y, and Z, and you're
like a
you're
different
like
country
shit.
or something you're talking about.
But
maybe.
like if you go around and you have this glass on all the time or contact or whatever, and you have your interface reality thing on, your shit can be on. And you're not holding anything up. You're just walking, and on one screen you have an interface with reality where it's like you also have options of shit to do. And then the next step after that is not just, hey, I'm going to press this shit in front of me, but then they could find a way to make it go directly from what you're thinking for it to do and have it actually do it. Then you're really talking about artificial intelligence type shit.
What things? Like creating
so
stuff?
Imagine it like the internet or your phone without you having to pick it up. So, like, I'm going to call Corin, and I go like this. Boom, 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 call Corin, and then I start talking to you. And it's through the interface reality thing that I start talking to you.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
So there's no, like, physical computers anymore or anything like that?
Right, well, in the example I'm given, it would be either a glass thing or it'd be a contact or something.
Yeah.
It gives you the interface, and people need to tell me what the name is. I forget what the name is. Interface reality or something, or... I forget what it's called, but that's the next shit. That's the next shit. It's not. We're not going to make a direct leap to going, I think, like full virtual reality where nothing is real around you. It's like artificial reality or whatever, where it's like you see the real world, but then you interface with it with some shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's going to change. I mean.
We're already behind, dude. We're already behind.
That's what I'm saying. All the shows I used to watch, they were doing crazy shit by now.
No,
we don't have one fucking flying car.
So I was with my sister and my family, and I had to go to my nephew's baptism, which was kind of creepy, and I could talk about that too. But
that's when the kid gets dunked under the water?
Yeah, weird as fuck.
Yeah.
But I went to go turn on the TV when I was at my sister's. And I turned it on, and it hit me like immediately with almost like a smart TV shit. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have the smart TV remote, and I was like, "All right, let me just exit out of this." And I assumed that'll take me right back to the cable box, so I just hit exit. So I hit exit, and it wasn't going back to the cable box. I'm like, "What the fuck do I do now?" And then little ass kid, my nephew, who was born in 2011, 12, 13. So he's 6 years old. He was like, "Oh, Uncle Kyle, you gotta go back to the cable," and I'm like. Yeah, but I'm pressing exit. It's not going back. He's like, he takes the other remote, and he starts pressing, goes to the cable box, and presses OK. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I remember when you were in diapers. And he got that shit before me. And
that's pretty wild.
Wow. So I just felt so stupid. But, so we're already behind in that sense. Like, the technological knowledge that these kids are going to have, because they're going to grow up with it, and it's just going to be normal for them. Like, what do you mean that's just normal? Like, to them, it's just whatever. You know, but anyway,
we have that in a sense with internet a little bit with our parents, but like
we do 100%
next level shit.
Exactly, 100%. They looked at us like, how do you know this shit?
Yeah,
and we're gonna look at the younger generation like, how do you know this shit?
Yeah, even with dating. I mean, like dating for our parents used to be like, all right, you would have to, court a girl and take her out and like meet her parents and all this shit, and then like we went through a phase where it was sort of like we can give them a call. On a landline from our house. Now it's just like you find them on an app, and then like you don't even have to talk to them anymore. And then there was some thing. It was I forgot what it was. It was like 60% of people don't even talk to their like potential dates or anymore. It's all through like texting.
Yeah, of course.
Like you don't even have to talk to them.
Totally, 100%.
Which is just a different way to fucking date people now. Whereas the next generation, it's going to be even more OD. I don't even know how people are going to fucking communicate.
Yeah, my thing on phone calls. I get like offended by phone calls.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck are you calling me? But I did find a middle ground that I like between phone calls and texting.
What?
The audio thing. The audio on the iPhone. I've sent you a few.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten like warm to that yet.
I love it. I love it. It's like
Really?
because it's just texting, but with a quick voice thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if anything, it's like texting, but it's a little easier just because instead of having to sit there and type it all out, I just say it.
Yeah.
So I'm like done quicker. And you can still respond like it's a text in that, okay, you're busy for 2 minutes doing this, and then you can respond to that. And it also gives you it better than a phone call because it gives you the ability to think instead of just being on your feet the whole time and
That's
just
true.
firing it out. But I like
Yeah.
that little. I might be. I'm one of like 18 people on the planet that really enjoys that audio thing. But
Yeah,
I
I
fucking
don't
love that
know a lot
audio
of people
thing.
that use that
Yeah.
option.
I've used it with you, and I've used it with one of my other friends, and he like never responds with audio thing. You don't either. Like if I'll do hit you with
I don't
audio,
even know
you hit
how
me
to
back
really
with the
do
text
it.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, you just press the thing and just say it, and then you hit send. That's it. It's the easiest
Really?
thing ever. It's the easiest thing ever.
You might have started some shit because not a lot of people use that.
I mean,
I do the FaceTime sometime.
It's well, no, it's not similar to FaceTime. FaceTime's like a Skype call, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Same shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually felt pretty smart this weekend because my fucking remote stopped working for my TV. Fuck Xfinity. The remote just like doesn't work. I like pushed every button. I tried doing like hold shit and reset. Nothing works. It's like completely dead. Not the batteries. So I was like, let me see if there's an app for this remote. And there was an app, and it like
Oh shit.
just fixed it. Like now I use my phone as the remote.
Oh shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
But it doesn't do like it's. I don't feel as comfortable using. Like I just want a remote.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because we're kind of stuck in our old ways in that sense. But yeah, there's shit now where everything is just controlled on your phone. You could set the fucking temperature in your house on your phone. Like they have
Yeah.
that. That's a fucking
I have
option
that.
now.
Yep.
Oh, you
I
have
was
that
driving
too?
home today. Yeah, it's the Nest app, and like our house stays on like Eco, which is just like generic.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hot as fuck today. I was like, I want to get home and the house just be fucking cold.
What'd you set it
Put
to?
it to like 69, and like you wouldn't think that's cold, but for a house that's freezing cold. No.
So I'll tell you what it's like for me. So for me, I have to put it on the second floor at 67. Because on the second floor, I got high ceilings.
Oh yeah. And
So
heat rises,
yeah,
right?
and the heat kind of like gets trapped upstairs. So I set the top floor on 67, but then I set the main floor on like 76 or 78 because that doesn't.
That's hot.
But that's the thing is, it doesn't get that hot though because it's
Oh, really?
yeah, because like the air from upstairs kind of travels down to the middle.
But you need colder. Like you always said, you sleep with a fan, right?
I
Like
sleep with
you
a
need
fan,
OD cold.
and I need cold. Yeah, I have it set at 67, but when I sleep, it's probably I don't know 68 or 69 degrees in the room, though I have it set at 67.
Yeah, there's
So
no
that plus
better
the fan.
feeling than going to sleep with like in a nice cold room.
A cold
don't know.
room, and it's got to be pitch black, man. I like
Yeah.
that pitch blackness. Like
Yeah.
basements with no windows that are nice and finished, obviously, are like the best thing to sleep in.
Yeah,
Because then you wake up, you don't know what time it is, and you're like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck's going on?"
It's such
But
a good
great.
feeling.
No, it's the best. It's the best. So go ahead. I was going to talk about the baptism. We got to come back to that in a little
Oh
bit.
yeah,
but go
yeah.
ahead.
No, talk about that. I was going to talk about when you said trapped. Made me think of the R. Kelly story. I was like, did you hear this story?
I read one article on
Trapping
it.
girls.
I read one article on it, and according to that article, like the headline was mad sensationalistic, and then I read that article and I was like, that's nothing like what the headline suggests.
Yeah.
So the headline said he's got like a fucking sex crazed cult, and he's kidnapping little girls or some shit. Then you
And
read
they're
the
like,
article and it's like there's a girl who's 21 years old who's in a relationship with R. Kelly, and
Supposedly he's like telling
like
people what
she
to do and
kind of
shit.
unplugged and doesn't talk to her family anymore or some shit. But
Yeah.
that's all it said in the article. It was just like the girl's 21 and she's in a relationship with R. Kelly and she doesn't like talk to her parents, and they think like
She even came out and was like, "I'm fine."
yeah, like so I don't know what the story is. Why are people flipping out?
Well, supposedly he's got like split personalities where like R. Kelly's good, but like his other side is like this guy who's controlling and tells them like who to talk to and like where gym clothes out so no one sees their bodies and
So he
how to perform like sexual acts on them and shit.
so he just
Which-
sounds like a shitty boyfriend then. That's all that
no,
sounds like
but
to
supposedly
me.
he's got like multiple women living in his house that like he does it to.
Oh, so he's got like a polygamous thing going on?
Yeah, something.
How many
where-
women live there? Do we know?
I don't know
It
exactly.
sounds like you
Maybe,
read a better article than I did. I just read a short article on it.
Yeah, I read like one, and it was just saying that like there's like maybe 4 women or something like that, or there have been previous women that lived in his house that have said he does this shit where like he dictates what they eat and like who they could talk to, and they can't really leave the house. I mean, R. Kelly probably could be a sketchy dude like that, you know?
It's certainly possible. I mean, what was the thing he got caught in the past? Pissing on, what was it,
like underage women or something? Or he was dating...
I don't know if she was underage. Was she like 17, the one he pissed on previously?
Yeah, maybe.
Or 16?
He was dating someone young or something like that, though.
Yeah, I saw a weird clip where somebody asked him, like, are you attracted to teenage girls? And he was like, now when you say teenage, how old we talking?
Yeah.
Now that's super creepy, but there also is a point there. Like if they're 19, that's a lot different than if they're fucking 14 or 13.
Yeah, I don't think he was going that young. That would be a little weird.
That'd be pedophilia. I mean, that's what that is. When you're 13, 14, you're doing... And he's probably 40-something now, right? Maybe even 50-something.
Yeah, he's definitely old. I don't know, but I mean, he puts out sketchy vibes, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was like some Bill Cosby-esque shit in the future on him.
It's certainly possible. Certainly possible. But the thing, I got to read more about it because the one article I read was like, he's in a consensual relationship with a 21-year-old girl who was like, saying I'm fine, like and everybody else, her parents were the ones who were like, no, you're not, and he's got you in a sex cult or some shit, so I don't know.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they were the ones who brought her to the concert and like try to get her backstage to meet R. Kelly. So it's like now it's like I don't know.
What do they expect? They expect R. Kelly to like do some monogamous shit. Like he's R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Like he's been making music about fucking people since the year 8. Like his whole thing is being the smooth dude who wants to fuck everybody. Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck that.
All right, so let me talk about the baptism real quick. Yeah. So.
I've never been to one of those shits, but it sounds fucking sketchy. Just like some old ass dude dumping a kid in water.
You go into a church, you know, that's all already weird because, you know, everybody knows I don't believe or anything, but whatever. For like events that I got to do it, I'll do it. You know, whatever it is. If I have to go into a temple or a church or a mosque for a wedding or an event or whatever, I'll go. Suck it up and go. So we get there, and first of all, the thing I had forgotten about churches was how creepy the music is. Like, sometimes they hit you in church with, like... So I'm going to be a little bit of a dick here, but I gotta say it. Like, usually the girls who are the singers at the church, like, they all sing in, like, that opera voice, that, like, proper opera voice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh!
Yeah.
And I think that they think they sound a lot better than they really do. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like
I don't know. On the flip side, I've heard some bangers come out of the church. Like
only
that,
if
like,
it's a black church. If it's a black church,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like Sister Act and like
not white churches.
Joy.
Not white churches.
Oh.
White churches, they think they're freaking it, but they're not freaking it. They just sound like weird and forced and like fake opera-y.
Yeah, I just know black like church music and like Kirk. You know Kirk Franklin? He's like a gospel singer, but like he makes like church bangers.
Yeah, well, black churches are exempt from my criticism here because black churches actually seem like
black
they're
people do everything better.
Hilariously fun.
They could turn like a whack dance into some hot shit.
An outgoing black pastor would be like hilarious to listen to. I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
You gotta welcome in Jesus.
You are not gay anymore. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, I do. That was fucking hilarious. So anyway, so I go in there. They start doing like the songs, and like some of them are weird. Like I'll just listen to the lyrics of one of them. Like, one of the lyrics of one of the songs was like "Be fearful of the Lord" or something. It's like, the fuck? Why would you?
Are they trying to scare you?
Yeah, like some fucking godly fear shit. Like walk in fear of the Lord. Like why? I don't want to be. Yeah. Shouldn't this be like all loving God? You're talking about fearing God or whatever. So the songs were a little creepy. And then the priest, man, holy shit. I mean, the dude, I know nothing about him. I don't know his name. I don't know if any of this shit is actually true, but he looks like an old pedophile. Like, he just looks like the world's oldest pedophile. He's like 6'2", but he weighs like 120 pounds, just like a skinny fucking decrepit dude with a comb over, really pale.
Oh.
Yeah. And then he started talking and...
Well, just think about that job and like applying for that job and what you have to do to become. No, you have to do certain stuff to become a priest,
well, you're
right?
Supposed to be abstinent. You're supposed to be abstinent. Like you're supposed to not have any sex.
Yeah, and just for a guy, whether you like a guy or a girl, like it's just hard not to see another human being living your life and be like, wow, that person's attractive, and like get feelings like, oh wow, my dick's getting hard.
Yeah, they're human, but they try to. Oh no, we're walking a higher path. We're not gonna like do that.
Fuck
okay,
that.
what the fuck is that? So so the priest starts talking at like the beginning of the service or whatever, and starts like saying, well, this is really important, this baptism, because what we're doing is we're giving the kids godparents. And the whole idea behind a godparent is like, well, if something were to happen to the parents, there's, the godparent's supposed to teach the kids about Jesus and fucking God and all that shit. And so I'm a godparent to my niece, and like,
and you're not going to teach her about any of that.
Well, no,
shit.
see, that's the thing is like, so godparent, there's like a double meaning. There's the religious meaning, which is what the priest was talking about, but then the other real meaning in like the real world is like, oh, they're your godparents. If anything, God forbid, were to happen to the parents, you're supposed to take the kid in and raise the kid and help the kid with whatever,
Yeah.
That's the normal real world godparent thing, not like the weird religious angle of it. But anyway, so this guy's talking and he's like getting into this shit, talking about see, the kids are going to look to you for guidance, parents. And then the only question is, who are you going to look to for guidance? Are you going to look to Jesus? Are you going to act like Jesus? Are you going to... And it's just... I don't know. It was just creepy. Like, it was just creepy to listen to them talk about some shit like they know it's true, but I know that they don't know if it's true. You know what I mean?
You know what's even scary to think, though, is that, like, are there people in that audience or wherever you were sitting, like, really listening to that, like, and it's making a difference? Like, are they thinking about that shit? Like, wow, I will have to connect with Jesus and do a better...
So I think if they're young and they were raised in it, that it's not landing and they don't take it in. Like I was raised Catholic, and when I would, my mom would take me to church on Saturdays when I was young. I would just sit there and be like, when is this shit over? Like this boring motherfucker talking. I wouldn't soak in any of the words. And if I ever did for a minute and a half, I'd be like, that's some bullshit. And then I would move on. But like, I think there are some people who go like, oh yeah, like Jesus, save me. And
they connect with that shit.
And they connect with it. I do think there's some. And when I looked around, like I was looking at other people trying to notice, like, I wonder what they're thinking. And yeah, there were like some old Italian women sitting there nodding like, like connecting with it. Ooh, I gotta plug in the laptop as I talk here.
Because when I went to the home run derby before, like we got in there pretty early because they were giving away this bobblehead, so you had to get there super early. So there was a pretty big line. And on the other side of the street, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but there was a guy with like a headset on. He was reading from his phone, some like, and Jesus and the Lord Savior says this, but like he had a watered down microphone and like was just walking back and forth, and it was like 100 degrees outside, and this dude was just rambling off shit, like Jesus is the Savior that loves you and this and that, and like come to think of it, like it's sort of still, I didn't know what he was saying, but I remember that guy standing there. Yeah. So he sort of got his fucking point across, I would say.
How many people is he recruiting? He's not recruiting anybody.
Oh, he wasn't recruiting anybody.
That happened on the train
I still remember him standing there.
That happened on the subway or the train to me once.
It's fucking weird, right?
Yeah, where it was Jehovah's Witnesses got up and they were like, now let me tell you. They started talking. I'm like, I actually started talking to them. I'm like, hey, man, hey. And I was nice. I was like, what makes you think, this is right? And then he was, well, like it says in the Bible. I'm like, no, but what makes you think the Bible's right? He's like, well, and
you called him out on his shit?
Yeah, but I wasn't trying to call him out. I was like genuinely trying to get him to be like evaluate it a little bit type thing. And
like what you're doing sort of is like weird, or
not like it was weird. Like I hit him with because they were annoying everybody. So I hit him with like, hey, like almost to direct all the attention to me, and I'll talk with them about it. Yeah. And then we did talk for like 3 minutes or whatever, and then it was nice at the end. I was like, oh, thanks, man, and nice talking to you. Oh, nice talking to you too. And then we kind of went our different ways. But yeah,
I don't know. I don't ever see how any of that shit can ever work. Like if someone comes up my door and they're like, hey, man, you believe in God? And I'm just like, well, you're standing in my fucking door.
Yeah, like I was just watching TV, and now you're asking me this shit.
Like Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like I don't want to talk to you about fucking like so one, I'm tight at you. Yeah. Does anybody come up to your door ever and just ask you shit? And I'm just like, people do that shit in my house.
90% of the time I don't answer. 90% of the time I don't answer.
I know, but sometimes they catch me off. Like I was getting out of my car.
Like if you're
once.
waiting for something, like a delivery or some shit, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
then you're fucked and you're just hooked in. Yeah.
But it's like, what's like? You got some fucking nerve to come up to my house and ask me. People are like, your house is fucked up on top. Do you want me to fix that? I'm like, you're telling me my house is fucked up? I don't want to do business with you. Like, be nice.
You know what sucked for me recently? I've had to answer some phone calls, like because I'm waiting for other phone calls and the number I'm not sure.
Oh, I get that all the
So
time.
I answer, it's like, "Hey, this is Janine from the sales department." I'm like, click.
I get that. So my Sirius radio just ended in my car, and the number that calls is from New York. Like it says New York, New
So
York.
you think it's like me or somebody?
I almost want to save the number as just like Sirius, don't answer.
Yeah.
Because I always pick up and I get trapped in a phone call and they don't give me a second where I could be like, up.
Oh,
Excuse
dude,
me.
you gotta step your game up. Because me recently, if I get
I
one of
feel
those,
bad.
the immediate shit. So first of all, half the time it's a robot, and the other
Yeah,
half the time
those-
it's a
those I'm
person
fine
who's
with.
just reading a script.
Yeah.
So you gotta like
No, but
they'll-
the Sirius people are real. Like they
Yeah,
like,
that's a little different. That's a little different. But the ones I've gotten have not been serious and they haven't been real. So I'll just
you
hit 'em
probably
with
get a
the
lot of political
boom.
shit somehow.
No, I
dude.
don't get political shit. No.
Oh no.
I get normal telemarketer garbage. So I'll answer and the second I hear a little thing that's not normal, boom, click immediately. I'll just hang.
So the
right
ones
up.
I hang up on automatically, like you'd be like hello, and it's like
Yeah.
hello. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
So I know
Hang
it's
that
automated.
shit up. Yeah.
But when it's a real person, like my fucking like good-heartedness just kicks in.
Well,
I'm
it
like,
depends
damn,
though.
like,
If they're people who are paid to read a fucking script, then they'll respect you more if you just hang up on them. If
That's
it's the
true,
people who
too.
are like, "Hey, this is this and so from this department," whenever they say they're from a department and they don't tell you the shit they're from,
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
know it's bullshit.
I know.
So
And
you
I can't trust a lot of shit anymore, man. There was one time, it was like my bank called me, and they're like, "Hey, like you scheduled your payment for this day. Like you could just do it right now over the phone." And I was like, I didn't tell them. I was like, "But this sounds sketchy." And they're like, "Yeah, just give us the last whatever blah blah." I was like,
oh,
"No, thanks. I'll just do it online." They're like, "No, actually, you can do it right here. It's very
Yeah,
simple."
that
And like
shit-
they kept going, and I asked my wife. I was like, "I got a call from this saying this." She was like, "Yeah, that was legit." I was like, "Well,
that
I was
shit was
addicted to
not
that guy."
legit.
It wasn't.
No way that was legit.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, it
No
was.
way that was legit. They don't
No.
call you and ask for your PIN or your fucking or your social. Ask for your social or whatever. You
Yeah,
can't do
people
that
are
shit.
just sketchy now with stealing identity shit. I don't want to give anything away over the phone.
Oh, you want to hear a funny story about that? Let me finish the baptism shit first.
Yeah.
So anyway, when I was at previous baptisms, there were priests who were fucked up and they straight up dipped the kid like upside down in the water, and it was like.
So what do
were
they do?
crying.
They say their whole prayer, and then at the end of the event, they dump them in the water, and the kid's
Yeah,
good.
they say some shit. Oh, we're now welcoming you into the Catholic Church and the house of God, and yada yada yada. Dip the head in the water, you're done. This priest was actually better with the head dip and shit than other priests. I've seen priests go nuts and dump the baby in like upside down, and all the baby's crying and shit. This one was a little better. Like took a little thing of water and poured it on their forehead or whatever.
Baby's
So-
crying and shit.
No, this time the babies didn't cry, but I've seen some where the babies cried, but that shit is
Hell
creepy,
yeah.
man. And then at the end they're like, all the fathers, we're gonna have you come up and light a candle, signifying your fire and their fire for God, their love for God. It's like,
The babies are butt ass naked.
no, they're
okay, good.
they're dressed. There may have been a time where they were naked, but that shit was. Then when the Catholic Church got caught doing all the pedophilia, they were probably like, "X-nay on the naked thing. We can't do that anymore."
Yeah, well, I feel
I
like
knew somebody. He was the business manager at the car dealership I used to work at, who
Uh-huh.
went to Catholic school as a kid. Now this dude's like 63 or whatever now, but like
Yeah.
he went to Catholic school as a kid. He said the priest made them swim naked.
yeah, that's a little fucking.
That shit was, they were
Weird.
straight up doing pedophilia shit. Like they were looking at the little kids running around with their little fucking dicks flopping around, and the priests were going to work on themselves later on.
That's
sure.
so weird.
Yeah, that's how fucking open that shit was with like the creepiness in the Catholic Church. This was Catholic school, but same shit. They had
I
to pay
feel
out,
like
dude, they had to pay out billions of dollars for the creepy sex shit they were doing. Billions of dollars.
And then it just like went like no one really spoke about it, right?
Nobody, I don't think many people went to jail because they paid out billions of dollars in settlements.
Jesus Christ.
So anyway,
That's fucking weird. That guy
man.
like swimming in the nude.
So the story I was gonna tell about the creepy card shit The creepy banking shit.
Oh,
So-
before the banking shit,
Okay.
think about
I gotta write this down. Keep going.
fucking rabbis who have to do circumcisions.
Oh, what they do? They suck the tip of the bloody baby dick off, man.
They don't suck it, but they
There's
cut it.
no. The ultra orthodox, they suck it
What?
off. Yes,
What?
100%. The ultra orthodox.
I didn't know that.
They circumcise and then they suck the tip off.
No.
I swear
what?
to God, look it up when we're done here. I had to do a story on it a while ago.
That's
Yes, and some babies got herpes and died.
What the fuck? I was just thinking about the ones that have to like.
They're just the ones who do the
that
normal
sign up.
circumcision.
It's like, yeah, hey, do you come to my house and can you cut my little baby's dick? And it's like, yep, sure, I do that. Like, no, that's not normal.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
You know what else is not normal? So I went to a wedding this past weekend and I had to drive through like a fucking Amish town.
Oh,
Dude, think of this. Like, I'm on the road,
that's so strange.
like driving in a car. I was like blasting like Drake or something like that.
And all of a
driving
sudden,
next
you're in
to a
Amish town.
Yeah, driving next to a fucking like horse
Horse and carriage,
and
yeah, horse and buggy.
carriage.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild that like they still live in that world when like I'm driving like 15 minutes from where they are is like Ithaca, New York, where there's like everything going on.
Yeah, man. There's like part of it, the idea of like keeping things simple, I get, but they go crazy with it and like they don't anything that's like modern. They're like, no. Like, but
Yeah,
what
but
if
to
it's
me it's just fascinating that like I'm like driving on a road with cars and like across the other street was a guy driving like a Ford pickup truck
and they live
and they're in a
totally
fucking like
different
no
life.
nothing.
Mhm.
Like, dude, here's an iPhone. This shit'll change your life.
Yeah. They say no. We live like it's fucking the year 1300.
That's crazy to me that shit still like exists.
It is. It really is.
It's
It's
such
bizarre.
like that to me is almost it's like fascinating and weird and like just strange.
So it's a little cultish. Like, it's a little cultish, but then they would look at us and say, you guys are cultish. You guys are
Yeah.
like slaves to your fucking technology. That's what they would say to us.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some things are just like, it's just factual that they make the quality of life better. Like, you and I wouldn't be able to have this conversation if it wasn't for this technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are halfway across the country from me right now, but we're able to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And like,
But
but they look at that, they like scorn that. Like, why would you scorn that? Like, two
But
friends
do
who
they
get to
even-
fucking talk.
Do they even acknowledge technology? Like, I don't know how it works. Like,
I don't
they-
know. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know either. Like, I don't know the ins and
Yeah,
outs
I'd
and the
be curious-
details of why the Amish do what they do. I'm sure they have some sort of reasoning, but
Yeah.
whatever it is,
It was just
I'm
so
not with
crazy
it.
to me. To like drive on the same road and it like had to swerve, like sort of swerve out of the way a little bit for this big ass horse and shit. And I'm like, I'm like swerving out of the way in a car, which from a like, it's like a time warp. It's like you're back in like the fucking Western when you drive through like a
yeah.
Amish town or I don't. Do they have Amish towns outside of New York?
Oh, I'm sure.
Sure they do, right?
I'm sure they do. Pennsylvania, I think, has. Some,
Oh yeah, Pennsylvania, but like Midwesty.
I don't know. I'm sure there are some. I mean, probably little pockets here and there. You know,
Yeah.
there's different pockets of different. There's a place in Florida that's all Scientologists, dude. Like, there's shit. There's weird shit going on everywhere. There's
Yeah, that's
Mormons
true.
in Utah. There's like, you know, there's shit going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Dearborn, Michigan's almost all Muslim. Well, not all,
Yeah.
but it's Muslim. Like, there's little pockets of weird religions and ideologies and cults that are just kind of peppered throughout, not just the U.S. but the world.
And I'm sure if you go to like I don't know, like a Nebraska or somewhere, there's probably a little town that's like a similar to like an Amish town where everything's super old school.
Baptist,
and-
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
yeah, that was crazy to me.
So, the story about banking shit. So,
Mm-hmm.
I thought recently my shit got hacked again.
Really?
So
yeah, you
listen to
get
this.
hacked a lot.
So listen to this. I was looking through my bank statement. I'm like, the fuck charge is this? It was a random charge for like some super high number. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? So I called up the people who did the deduction from the account. I'm like, what is this? What's going on with this? And they were like, that's not us. I was like, but it says it's you. So what do you mean it's not you? They're like,
Yeah.
100% that's not us. That could be like a high level scam type thing where it shows up as a recurring payment that you do with us, but it's not us.
Damn.
They were like, I looked every way I could, 100%. That's not when you get your deduction from us. You get it this day of the month. This happened on that day of the month, yada, yada, yada. So then I had to call up my bank. And I'm like, look, this charge is not right. Like, this is off. Something's wrong here. So, I need to shut down this card, get a new card, and, you got to credit me back for the amount.
Yeah.
And so they were like, now normally my bank would be like, yeah, 100%, no problem. In fact, one time it happened, they automatically texted me and were like, did you make this purchase? And I said, no.
I love when they do that.
I was like, no, I didn't. And then they canceled the card. They sent a new one, and they automatically gave the money back in the account and all that. This time I didn't get a text or anything because it showed up as a recurring thing from people I normally pay a bill to.
Okay, yeah.
So then they said, we're going to have to open a case on it. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. Ugh. And then they asked me, they gave me the option, like, you can still cancel your card if you want, and we'll send you a new one, but it's your choice for this time. I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to sleep if I think somebody has fucking access to it and is just draining my whole shit, so yeah. So it closed that card, sent me a new one. I'm like, fuck, that means I got to re-put this shit into all the other shit, and it's just such a fucking pain in the ass or whatever. So then I get on the phone with the people who did the investigation, like, the week after. And they're like, yeah, Mr. Klinsky, we can't approve this because of blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wait, hold the fuck up.
The original place you called that said that it
my
wasn't them.
My bank called up and told me we can't approve this. Like, we can't credit you back for that amount of money. I was like, first of all, it's a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
Second of all, like, the recurring payment was for, like, a not that much. And then all of a sudden, it, like, was 8 times larger, and you're telling me nothing's off there? Like, obviously something's fucking off there.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the conversation, they say something about blah, 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 cable. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about cable? Because the bill was Verizon that I was paying that had the fucked up thing. It's like, what do you mean cable? Because it showed up as recurring payment to Verizon. Whenever it says that, it's Verizon wireless, cell phone shit. They were like, this is cable. So I'm like, what do you... I said, hold on, let me call my cable company. I have Verizon Fios for my cable company.
Yeah.
I called them up, and they're like, I was like, walk me through all the charges. So apparently what happened was, with my cable bill, they had forgot to bill me for a month, or like it skipped a month. And so they had to double charge me for that.
That already sounds fucking fishy as fuck, though.
Plus, I upgraded a certain thing in my package. So it was a mix of upgrading something in my package and 2 cycles. That does sound funny. Upgraded my dick.
I upgraded my package.
And being charged for the 2 months as opposed to the 1 month. And so it was actually a charge that was legit.
But how do they fuck up not charging you a month? I think that might have happened to me once, actually.
No, but I felt so stupid because I had gotten the new card and already went through all the bullshit. And then at the end, it was like, oh, that shit actually was totally fine. Yeah. But it got me tight, though, because the way it showed up on my bank statement, usually if it's my cable, it'll say Verizon Fios. But this time it just said Verizon recurring payment. Yeah. And I have Verizon Wireless and Verizon Fios. And so I thought that shit...
get a little dicey, yeah.
Right, yeah. So, I don't know.
I would sort of still get tight at them because I feel like anytime you can get something free out of them. Where if you're like, hey... that was your fuck up. You didn't charge me for a month, and then you just decided to charge me 2 months the next month? You know what
I think it may have been from? That when they were supposed to bill me for that month...
You upgraded to that shit.
No, when they were supposed to bill me for that month was the time my card was actually hacked, and when they went to go...
Oh, so they couldn't charge it.
They couldn't charge it, and then they get it done.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I think that was it. So the fucking shit, like the annoying ass shit that I went through, and then it was just all for nothing this time. Well, yeah, but I was wrong. I was just wrong. Like I was like, that's not a fucking legit charge. And then when you actually dug into it, it's like, no, that shit was totally legit. Yeah, it just showed up as something that it wouldn't normally show up on my bill, and then that weird scenario explains it. But yeah, I felt so fucking stupid at the end. I was like, oh, I'm so dumb.
Yeah,
but it was also relieved. I was relieved though because I was like, "Oh, so my card's not hacked again."
I've done that before too. You've got like, it's just fighting with someone over a whole fucking thing, and at the end, you're just like, you know what? I was wrong as fuck.
Yeah, I've been there for sure.
I don't know. I don't even really monitor my shit. So if anyone's out there, you could hack away at
Go
me.
ahead, steal my shit all day.
I try to look at it, but then like it'll be like because I'll take out money at like a weird convenience store or something, and I really have to think back like 2 weeks.
Dude,
like,
you got to be careful.
What the fuck is that?
Because you got to be careful. Because I think that's how my shit was hacked the first time. Is I used an outdoor ATM, which is like the last thing you should ever use.
Yeah. I try to avoid.
Yeah.
I'll walk in New York City, and there's like it's like a pizza shop, and then there's just like a random ATM fucking pinned in the wall with like OD graffiti on it and all this shit, and I'm like, that shit will steal your identity.
100%. 100%.
I try to stay away from like, I mean, some of them look fucking super hot box, so I'm like, I would not touch that shit.
Yeah.
Your card, my card.
And I've also become more old school as a result of my card being hacked that one time. I decided I'm like an old ass Italian dude now who just walks around with a wad of cash.
Oh,
like I'll have like some cash on me as opposed to using my card. I'll just use the cash, and then I feel better.
Yeah.
You go to the bank once, you take out a shitload of money, you keep a lot of it somewhere hidden in your house.
Yeah.
And then you walk around with some money.
Well, that could be bad too, because you could forget where you fucking.
No, you got.
You ever see Vegas Vacation where his cousin I don't know the guy's name. He's a funny actor, but he has money buried all in his front yard in like the middle of the desert.
Oh.
And they're trying to dig it up. He's like, I found $5.
Oh,
they
shit.
Keep digging and find more money.
Yeah.
I try to do that sometimes. I try to put money away, and then
you
like,
forget
I'll be
the
like,
spot.
where the fuck did I put that?
It's got to be your go-to. You can't just have, like it's got to be in a safe spot, but it's got to be your one spot that only you know about.
Yeah,
that's the shit. Like it can't be some shit where you think of it on the fly. Like I'll just put it there today. Like no, it's got to be some shit that's like lasered in your memory.
Yeah, I guess so. Even then, I'm like,
you'll forget that shit.
Yeah, I'll put my glasses down in just like a spot where I'm like, I will not forget these here.
And
like I'll put them in the middle of my bed or something like that, like on my pillow.
You sit
and
on them and break them.
Sit on them. Yeah. I'm like, well, that was dumb. I fucking put them here because I wasn't gonna forget them there.
No, you know what's funny? I'm like the worst with certain things, like wallet, keys, cell phone. I can't tell you how many times I've been holding my cell phone and going, "Where's my cell phone?
Yeah,
where's my cell phone?" And keys.
Are you the type to leave without your cell phone? Or are you like, I gotta go home and get my cell phone?
Oh, I'll go get it. I can't be without my cell phone.
I know.
Crazy. That's like
I've done that a couple times. I'm just like, I can't go without my cell phone.
Sometimes when I play golf, it's on my fucking hip.
Really?
Yeah. I'm old school in that sense too. I still rock the cell phone clip, like the cell phone holster.
I don't do that anymore.
I don't fuck around, man.
I'm gonna bring back a fanny pack.
Fuck fanny packs.
I'm going on a trip, and I like a lot of I wear basketball shorts, and I don't have any pockets.
So get some basketball shorts with pockets. I got basketball shorts with pockets.
I know, but
you just want to wear a fanny pack. Admit it.
Yeah, that too.
So go for it. I mean, you could rock. I rock the cell phone clip. That shit is not cool anymore. So rock the fanny pack. Who gives a fuck?
Cell phone clips is sort of like a old like beeper, like still.
That shit. Nobody does that shit. Only like old white dudes do a cell phone clip. But
I know what I'm saying.
I said, fuck it. I want to wear that shit. So I'll wear it. And just the same, like I held on to when everybody, I caved a little bit, but not that much, because when everybody was rocking the aviator sunglasses, I was like, nah, I'm still wearing the sporty shits.
Oh yeah, you've been on the sporty shits for a while.
Yeah, and then sporty shits kind of came back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I did cave a little bit, though, because I did also buy a pair of aviators. I just don't wear them. I just don't wear them as much as I wore the sporty ones, because at first I thought the aviators were kind of stupid. I'm like, they're so big. Why are they so big? But then after a while, like everybody's insistence that they were hot, I was like, they're kind of hot.
Yeah, aviators had a span where they were like the shit.
Yeah, where if you didn't have a pair, people are like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Ray-Bans got hot again, like the black joints.
Yep.
I had some of those.
Ray-Bans. I don't know if I had Ray-Bans, but I had Oakleys. I always had Oakleys, a pair of Oakleys.
Oakleys were like
the sporty ones.
I
like the sporty ones, yeah.
Yeah, I never got into like the rounded like type.
The ones that hug your face, the sporty ones. Yeah, I like those. The David Duval ones, that's what they are. Remember David Duval, the golfer from back in the day? Yeah.
He was gangster back in the day. He used to wear all the Nike shit.
It's actually the British Open this week, or the Open, and he's playing in it. And he like hasn't had a good year in forever. But I think the way it works with the Open is that they invite back all the champions, and they have the option to play. So he's playing. So, but he's like dead last in the rankings. Like, you know how when you gamble, His odds are like, if you put $1 on him, you win $7 million.
Might not be a bad move. The Wimbledon, supposedly there was some tennis player that was like super underdog that like ended up winning like a couple matches that like won mad money for people.
I actually did a DraftKings thing. You heard of DraftKings?
Yeah, of course.
I did a DraftKings thing where for the British Open, where I picked. You get to pick 6 people. You put in $3. You pick 6 people, and then it's $50,000 guaranteed. And so
what has to happen? One of those 6 people have to win?
I think you just have to have your 6 do better than anybody else's 6 golfers that you pick. And I'm loving my pick, son. I'm loving.
Really?
First of all, let me just say, I picked the winner last week. Before last week, I texted my buddy. I'm like, this person's gonna win this week, and then that person won. He was like,
really?
how the fuck did you do that? I was like, first of all, I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Second of all, I know how they're trending. Like, I know which ones are trending in the right direction and which ones are trending in the wrong direction. So here we go. I'll go out on a limb right now. Rory McIlroy, who's like one of my favorite golfers, he's not going to do well this week. He's not going to do well. He's like number 4 in the world or some shit. He's not doing well. Because he missed 3 of the last 4 cuts. He's struggling.
What about Spieth? I saw Spieth made some crazy fucking shots to like.
Spieth won very recently, so he's playing pretty well. He might do well.
But he like won on some crazy shot though, right?
Well, no, he holed a bunker shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he won. That was his last shot.
You know what I saw somebody saying? They were like, because he threw his golf club after. They're like, oh, because he did it, it's like awesome. But they're like, if like Tiger Woods or a black person did it, they would be like, so disrespectful to the game, to the sport. Like, why is he throwing his club?
It's a little true. I don't think people were harder on Tiger because he's black, but it is a little true that Tiger got more shit than other people. Like, Spieth has had moments where he's just
disrespecting the game,
where he's just a dick. Spieth has had moments where he's just an asshole, but he has this fucking people view him as like the golden boy, and he's like, oh, he never does anything wrong. Like, no, he's given like asshole answers to reporters and been like really dickish with them, and like they just let it slide. Whereas if Tiger was a little mean, they'd be like, fucking Tiger.
Yeah.
So
that's like in any sport though. It's like black and white. Where like if LeBron does something, he's being like aggressive and.
Right, yeah. Like, there are some people who are just the ones that get the pass for whatever reason, and others don't. I don't think it's because black versus white type thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I saw him throw his club.
So another one who's probably not going to do well this week is Jason Day, because Jason Day...
he's like number 1, right?
No, Dustin Johnson is number 1. Dustin
Johnson's number 1 in the world now?
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to do that great either, to be honest, because he missed the cut at the U.S. Open. So... See, this is what I mean. If you follow this stuff as closely as I do, then you know which ones...
Well, you have an eye for it. It's like when I used to go to the horse track, like Yonkers Raceway. It's like, I would be like, how does anybody know what horse is going to do well right now? They're all fucking horses. Yeah. And then there would be like that old guy like, watch 7.
Yeah, put your money on 17, kid.
I'm like...
I just won $800. What happened?
Horse racing is the craziest shit. And that's why, like, that's like you with golf. Like, there's just so many golfers. It's just like... They're all very good. How do you know who's better than who?
So I'll tell everybody right now if they want to place a bet on it. Bryson DeChambeau is going to do well. He's the guy who won last week. He might be a little tired because he won last week. And he fucking flew over like yesterday to the UK with the time difference and shit. John Rahm is going to do well. That kid's a beast, man. 24 years old. Or he's been on tour for like, what, a year? He's already won 2 tournaments.
Really?
He had like fucking some crazy number of top 10s. Like he gets a top 10 in like almost every fucking tournament he plays in.
What's Rahm? What's his nationality? White dude?
Spain. He's from Spain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's from the Basque region of Spain.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he's a fucking beast. And my other picks are the ones that are out there a little bit, but I picked them because they're trending well. And they don't usually do well in majors, but Charles Howell III and Jamie Lovemark are 2 I picked, and Patrick Reed is another one I picked. But anyway.
What about my man, Padraig Harrington?
Padraig Harrington? Yo, he's been playing well, man. He's like 1,000 years old, but he's been playing well recently.
Yeah.
He's scrappy as a motherfucker, that guy. He just doesn't go away.
And he, didn't he have a cousin that played in like the World Series of Poker?
Oh,
and,
that's right. Yeah, he did.
Remember that?
Like Dan Harrington or something.
Dan Harrington, that old ass. He's probably dead now.
That dude was kind of old.
Hopefully he listens and he's just like, I'm not dead. Remember it's just like old and always would be at the final tables when we would watch World Series of Poker.
I do remember that. In 2003, Chris Moneymaker. I remember that.
I had no idea who Padraig Harrington was, but they would always be like, he's got a famous cousin, Padraig Harrington, a golfer, and that's why I know Padraig Harrington.
Exactly.
The World Series of Poker is going on right now, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do we know anybody who's playing in it?
There's actually a lady from my old gym whose husband always makes it into the money of like the World Series of Poker.
What?
Yeah.
You know, I
I
feel
don't
like
even know his name.
we're kind of obligated to play in it like once.
Well, you could fucking do it. If they have like a $10 tournament.
No, you know what you got to do is you got to win like one of the side tournaments to get
Satellite
into that
side
shit.
joints, yeah.
You don't have to pay the 10 grand.
Our friend, like, didn't Vinny go and like almost? Didn't he qualify for one? Or like someone put up the money for him in a side tournament?
Oh no, I think it was like a World Poker Tour event for him. I don't know if it was World Series of Poker.
I definitely think he went to Vegas though and played in some like satellite.
I thought it was
thing.
a World Poker Tour event.
Oh, was it World Poker Tour?
I thought it was World Poker
for
Tour. I didn't know it was.
maybe. Did our friend Tommy ever buy into the World Series of Poker, or he would do
I don't know
the
if he
side
bought in or
tournament?
if he won something to get into it, but he almost finished in the money.
He's
was
played
ranked.
in it before.
Yeah, I think so. And I think he almost
okay.
finished in the money. He was ranked at one point. I don't know if he still is, but he was ranked.
Really?
He was
I feel like
ranked.
you would do well in the World Series of Poker because you were good at tournaments.
Yeah.
I know we've spoken about this before, but I would be out in like 2 seconds and be like, fucking $10,000 down the
And then it
drain.
would be right back like when we were in high school. You'd have to like sit in a seat like behind me and just sit there and wait.
Yeah.
And you have to go eat snacks while while I was playing.
I'd be like, Holly, get me a turkey sandwich. They'd be like, Potter, you show you spot you the money, you get back in. Like,
Yeah, they used
I'm
to
like
call Corin
fucking like 11th
Potter.
grade, like, sure, I'll take another $200 that I don't have.
They used to call Corin Potter because they thought he looked like Harry Potter.
Yeah, I wore my
You wore your glasses when you go, yeah. And they'd be
Think
like,
about that. We
Potter,
get knocked out and have like these old ass Italian dudes just like,
I'll give you another few hundred. Yeah.
you want another 200? We buy in. You pay me back when you can pay me back. I'm like,
We'd be like, okay. And then that dude
meanwhile,
got
I'm
his
working
hand
at an
cut
ice
off
cream
years
store.
later.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I just got to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and I'll have your money. Like, don't worry about it. We'll get some from Ricky on the corner over here.
The good old days. So I want to tell. I was thinking about selling cars earlier today. That crossed my mind. So
I actually told someone that story, that like, because I saw someone from New Rochelle at the wedding. They're like, doesn't your boy do like the politics show or whatever? I was like, yeah, he's killing it. Like, he's got a big following. And I was like, and they're like, how did he do that? I was just like, he was working at a car dealership and just like fuck this.
yeah. So for people, I think most people who listen know the story, but the Cliff Note version is. So I went to school for political science, graduated with a degree in political science. Then I went and sold cars for like maybe a year and a half, and it was just like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. All right, let me just go sell cars. I got to make a paycheck and see what happens. So,
But you're pretty confident. Like I feel for people. Like I drive by tons of car dealerships and I always see like now hiring.
Mm-hmm.
That must be one intimidating ass job to start and be like, all right, like I gotta fucking sell cars. Like I gotta be a car salesman.
So that's what I wanted to talk about is like what it's like when you, because I've always spoken about it, but I never spoke about what it was actually like doing it. I always spoke about it as like, okay, I was there for like a year and a half, and then I got in an argument with the manager, and I ended up leaving, and then started the show, and the YouTube channel started in '08, and I used to do the videos for fun, and the Blog Talk Radio show started in like '09. I used to do that for fun, and then when I left the dealership that I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me just give this a shot and see if I could do this full time and see if there's some way I could create a revenue stream where I could just sustain. I just want to be able to keep the fucking lights on and do it type of shit. But I never spoke about what it was like when I was there and what my philosophy was about selling cars and shit when I was there. So here was the problem for me. Like, there are people I know who are really, really into cars. Like, it's their shit. Like, you know how people have their hobbies,
Yeah.
Then that's some people, like, they just love everything about cars. Like Jay Leno, with that show he's got on CNBC or whatever the fuck it is. And, like, I knew a few car salesmen who they knew everything about every fucking car ever, and they just loved it, and they would want to spend their weekends, like, watching car TV shows and watching car YouTube videos and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, those guys are the people who should be the best salesmen because they could really tell you some interesting shit about whatever the fuck it is they're selling you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could tell you, oh, the way that this engine works is fucking crazy, and the horsepower on this one is fucking nuts. And see, my problem when I was selling cars, and I was never a shitty salesman and I was never a good salesman. I'd always just pump out like in the middle, somewhere in the middle. Because my problem was I can't fucking lie. I can't hype up some shit.
It's a good thing for a car salesman, but also tough because everyone just assumes you're lying. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, when I bought a car, I was just like, this motherfucker's lying to me.
Yeah.
Just because I've always been taught, like, car dealers are shady, they're going to fuck you over. And it's like...
But the thing is, my honesty, I think it came across as dickishness sometimes. Because in my mind, like, I'm talking to these people who are considering buying this vehicle, and I'm thinking, like, a car's a car. You're going to buy this shit or you're not going to buy this shit.
Yeah.
And, like, they want you to be there to fucking tickle their nutsack and walk them through the whole shit. Like,
to them, it's a fucking huge thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh,
but
so
for you,
tell
it's
me what
like
the all-wheel drive on this is like.
Yeah.
I really am curious. And meanwhile, I'm like, this is a fucking car.
Yeah.
The headlights work. The fucking wheels work. Shit is brand new. Leather interior. All-wheel drive. Do you want this shit or do you not want this shit?
It's a weird dynamic because they're coming in like this is the greatest moment of their life. Their kid might have a new car, and you're like, I'm going to tell you everything about the car, and I don't care whether or not you buy it or not. So
Yeah.
It's so two different, like...
Yeah. So there was a certain kind of buyer who liked me. Like, the ones who were no bullshit, who know what they want, and they're like, I want that
you as
shit.
a buyer. That's how you are when you go
That's
in
how
somewhere.
I am as a buyer. I want that.
Yep.
Yeah, but
and they're like, well, let
what
us
if I were to
sell
tell
you
you that this upper package comes with the... No. Stop right there. I want that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how I am as a buyer. So, yeah.
I don't think a lot of people are like that. A lot of people want to be sold.
That's the thing is I kind of treated everybody with the respect of, you're an adult, you did your homework, you're coming in here because you have an idea of what you want, and now I'm just going to show you the colors and what they look like in person, maybe take it for a test drive, and then you're good to go. But that's the thing is a lot of people, there's a specific kind of buyer who liked me, but that was only maybe 15%, 20% of the buying population. Other people in the market were looking for and that's the thing is like, that's why I was never a great salesman, is that I am a great salesman if I care about the thing I'm fucking selling. But I didn't really care about cars. I'm not really interested in them. So it was just a job. Whereas, like, you know, you could say for me doing my political show when I'm talking about certain ideas, it's like I'm selling the ideas, and I could sell them because I fucking believe in what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yep.
But then there were there were salesmen who knew everything about cars, who were good at selling cars. Like the honest kind of person who's really just excited about cars. But then you got to see that there is a significant percentage of the population that loved the bullshitter. The guy who's just so utterly full of shit, but he's so full of shit, and he's so confident with himself being full of shit.
It just makes you feel comfortable.
You're convinced he's a truth teller, and that he's on your team. You know, like me.
And he fucks it up for all the other car salesmen, though, probably.
No, because those people actually get the best reputation. Because people love those people. Yeah, like the best salesman was the biggest bullshitter at the place where I sold cars.
Oh.
The best salesman was the biggest bullshitter. And then what's funny is sometimes with some buyers, a guy like me, I'll come up to you right up front with my lowest price. I'm not fucking around. I don't give a fuck. Newsflash,
like
it's not 1982. It's not 1982 anymore. The car salesman's not making a crazy amount of money on each car they sell you. They're usually making a flat, which is the minimum they could make, which many places is $100. That's what it was.
So it's not like if you say you're selling a Corvette or something like that, and you get someone to buy it for whatever, your lowest amount you can go is $200 a month. Whereas if someone sells it for $500 a month, they're not fucking keeping that extra $300. You're saying? Like if you sell a car,
they get a percentage. They get a percentage of that. But here's the thing: is that there's very few new cars that have that markup.
Okay.
Like a Corvette might be one example because nobody buys Corvettes; it's very rare. But like the markup on it is more than the markup on the cars people are actually buying. So when it came to Chevys, if you look at an Equinox or you look at Malibus or fucking Cruise, you look at those. The markup is nothing. So when you give them, at least me, when I gave them the first price I gave them, I'm cutting money off that window sticker, and I'm giving them the lowest number. And then those people look at me like, oh, I want more off than that. I'm like, no, I came up and gave you the lowest number already because I
Oh,
already
I
knew
feel
you were
like
going to
that
ask
job
me.
right there is just like a back and forth of like, just
Well,
like, shut the fuck up.
that's exactly right, and that was my problem. Is I'm not interested in the back and forth. I'm like, here, this is what it is.
Oh,
So,
I would
but then
hate that.
the bullshitter, will find a way to give them a whole bunch of bullshit and make them think they're getting a deal when they're getting a worse deal. Like they'll lay it out. The classic bullshitter move for car salesmen is to just give, like, you give the money down and you give the monthly payment, and you walk them through that, and you say, oh, you're going to be paying this at this rate and yada yada yada. And what you don't give them is you don't give them the full price what they're paying for the car. So a lot of fucked up salesmen will increase the price that's on the window sticker, maybe kick it up another $800, $1,000, whatever the fuck they can, and then put, oh, your down payment is X amount, your payment per month is X amount, and then you hit them with some shit like, and by the way, look, I'm just going to tell you right now, you came in on a good day.
Yeah,
Because we're trying to do clearance. We're trying to get this shit out of here, and we got the new shit coming in, and you have to understand that this deal, it's only going to last like maybe 2 days. So you got to make, I'm telling you, if you pass up on this, you're going to be disappointed because you're going to go to the next place and they're going to hit you with something way higher than this. Meanwhile, I'm here to look out for you. Do you trust me or do you not trust me? I took you on the test drive. I showed you all the different features. And a bullshitter salesman will make the people think that they're getting the special treatment.
Of course.
When they're really getting banged out and they're really getting fucked. So
yeah. I hate that line, like, dude, you came in on a good day. Today's the only day. They used to be like those TV's commercials and be like, come down today only. And then you just like turn on the TVs 3 days later and it's
today
like, come
only.
down today only. You're like,
Yeah. So it was weird, man. But we had some funny stories from,
Yeah, I mean, you had a good crew you worked with.
I loved so many of those people, man. So many of those fucking people. There was this dude who was the original business manager there. I won't say his name because I don't know if he'd want me to say his name. He was the fattest motherfucker on the planet. Do you remember him? You've seen him, right?
Maybe.
This dude was gigantic. Just looking at him, I had like 3 heart attacks.
Oh.
Like his fat transferred into me through my eyes when I looked at him. That's how fucking fat he is. Gigantic, son. So, and he was a horny motherfucker, always talking about pussy.
Really?
The fattest dude ever.
I feel like
always talking about pussy.
Your car dealership, like a lot of people say, like, oh, my job should have a reality show and all this shit.
That shit
like,
should have had a reality show. Hell yeah.
You had like a gay model working there. You had like,
right.
Didn't you have like some Jamaican lady or like something?
Yes.
Maybe not a Jamaican lady. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we did.
Well, like
was awesome.
you had just like a cool regular ass dude.
Didn't give a fuck about what I was doing.
You had like a young black dude working there who was just chilling.
Cool ass black dude.
You had like your mechanics department that like that shit was just, and then probably that fat
old dude who pops pills and drinks and is fucking fun as fuck.
Yeah, that would have been a good show.
Yeah. So the fat dude was always horny and talking about pussy and shit, and always clowning on people. He was always clowning on people. Like he wasn't fucking damn near 1,000 pounds. I might not be. The dude was probably like 600 pounds. I'm not exaggerating. Like 600. He was so fucking big. It was unbelievable. Yeah. Then there was the guy who he's like an older white dude. Takes pills because his back hurts or whatever, and also a heavy drinker. But he's like the most alcohol. You know how they're asshole drinkers and they're happy drinkers? He's like a happy drinker. Like he drinks and it just makes him happy. And like he's so likable that like the managers who are usually kind of strict just accept him if he were just to start drinking or some shit. They'd be like, all right.
That's what it is.
Because he's just so fucking likable and so outgoing.
Yeah. He was cool.
Yeah.
I forgot his fucking name.
No, don't say it on air.
No, I don't even remember any of those fuckers' names.
A lot of those guys were cool though. You know what shit always pissed me off though? And a lot of car salesmen will relate to this, unless their dealership is more official and they do shit the right way. But they would, this pissed me off so much. When it snowed, they give the salesman shovels and say, go shovel some of the lot.
Like what?
What? they're making less than minimum wage. They make their money through commission. So they have to sell shit to make more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
So how are you going to pay somebody less than minimum wage and then give them a shovel and go do manual labor? Bitch, at least pay me minimum wage. What are you talking about?
Yeah, how would they have the nerve to fucking ask you to shovel and not
if you
get
said
like
no, you would get in trouble.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is you should report them to the fucking labor department or some shit.
Did anyone ever crash a car on a test drive or like hit anything with you?
No, nobody ever crashed a car on a test drive. No.
I feel like that would be such an awkward situation for someone because it's had to have happened. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure that's happened at some point to somebody.
If they, I would have been like, "Get the fuck out of here! I'm not shoveling. It's not my fucking job description." I used to shovel back in the day when I was younger. We used to go to people's houses and just like shovel like old school, like, can we shovel your driveway for like $10 or whatever?
Yeah, I did that too back in the day.
Kids used to hustle. Did you do any like lemonade stands or anything like that? I never did a lemonade stand actually.
Lemonade. I don't know if I did lemonade stands. I don't think I did, but I did do the shoveling though. That's something. I used to caddy too as a kid.
Caddying.
Did you ever caddy?
Yeah. I always tried to. I would wake up mad early in the morning, but never get called out.
You never got called out, and so you said.
I was like a scrawny little fucking weakling.
I was scrawny too, but I got
you knew
out.
the game and probably.
Yeah, I knew the game enough, and I sucked up to the fucking members.
Yeah.
Hey,
is it true the members tell you to like kick their ball and hook them up and all that stuff?
No, they don't do that.
No,
they don't do that. At least not the ones I played with.
Some would, or my stepbrother's friend used to be a caddy at like a good, like Sunnydale or something, Sunningdale, and he would say like sometimes they would tell him to kick it out of the woods or whatever like that.
Like help, yeah. Dicks. Yeah, if they're playing in some like those people might be betting and playing with their buddies and like for big money and then they cheat and shit. I could see that for sure. I actually liked caddying because when you're done at the end of the day, you sleep like a baby. It takes a lot out of you, man. Carrying that bag in that hot-ass weather, it takes a lot out of you. And then the other thing I did, I worked at a golf range. The golf range right near where I lived.
Yeah.
That was my most consistent job as a kid, is I worked at that golf range.
They always I remember they would, when I would go to the golf range, they got the people that drive around in that car. Yes. And you would try and hit try and hit them in the car.
That's like universal at the driving ranges. Yeah. Everybody tries to hit the dude in the car for sure. Oh. And then I also worked at like a pharmacy type thing, like a CVS type place.
Yeah.
I worked at a place like that. I
remember Bobby used to hit it like over the fence when we would go to the ranges.
I hit it over the fence too.
Oh, you might have done it too. Across from Sport Time.
Elmsford. Yeah, the one at Elmsford. Yeah, but that's gone now. They got that place shut down a few years ago. What? Yeah.
They had a mini golf place too, right? Like,
yeah, now it's all.
There's no more.
Nope. I think like FedEx bought it or something, and they
really.
Yeah. Now there's only one range in the whole county here.
There's a range in Ardsley, I think.
That's the one I'm thinking of, near like Hartsdale, by like Hartsdale. Yeah. That's the only one in like all of Westchester.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. They have a good-ass basketball court right across the street from that.
Oh, they do? I've never seen that. I've never seen the basketball court.
It gets hood over there, though.
Does it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's been a lot of like shootings and fights over there.
Shit. I'll bring my gat next time I hit golf balls.
No,
my non-existent gat.
Hit a good-ass drive. I would always be shanking the shit out of it at the golf course.
It's one of those things. Have you ever? I don't know if you've ever gotten bit by the golf bug. Did you ever get bit by that? Like the golf bug is when all of a sudden, like you'll be like, yeah, whatever, I'll fucking try, blah blah blah, and then like you hit like maybe 4 or 5 good shots, and you're like, fuck, I want to do that all the time.
Yeah.
And then you just keep going to the range, and then you keep playing, and then it's just.
It is a good feeling. I've played a couple good holes where I'm like, all right, this is fun. Like, this is, like, I enjoy this.
Well, that's the thing about golf is when you're playing bad, you hate it. It's the worst fucking sport ever. It's terrible. And when it's going well, you love it. It's the best thing ever. It's kind of like a relationship in that sense.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck this. Fuck it. I hate it. But then things go well. Oh, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. It would be amazing if, like, Tiger just came out of, like, his whole drunken phase right now. And just played, like, all fucked up and still entered, like, the next tournament because he qualified because he won once before. He'd still be allowed to, right? Like they would let him.
Oh, he's gonna play again for sure.
Yeah, he'll definitely
Yeah,
play again. But like if he just came out right now,
you're saying fucked up.
yeah,
He's
like all
fucked
fucked
up.
up.
He said he went through treatment. You saw that? He went through treatment for Vicodin.
Yeah, will treatment even help you? Like if you're an addict at some shit, like yeah, it's gonna help you. But you're
Yeah, it
always
depends
gonna...
what kind of treatment. Like most treatments are bullshit. They're like people.
And you gotta want to go to the treatment. Like,
Yeah,
you can't
he
just
went
go to it
supposedly
because
just
you're
to keep
fucked
his
up.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
like to keep custody of his kids or partial custody of his kids. So I don't know, but I wish
I
him
don't
well.
know. He's gonna be struggling for a while.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's up there in age and stuff. We don't need to talk about this again. I feel like we've beaten the Tiger Woods story to death.
Oh, so I had last night. So my dinner consisted of like these dollar. It was like chicken rice that like you just put on the stove.
That sounds good though.
No, they're usually fucking banging.
Wait,
but,
so you say you put it in the stove? It's not the one in the microwave?
you can microwave it, but I think you could do it on the stove
So
too
you
with
did it
just
on
like
the
some
stove.
hot water and butter.
Mhm.
And I had it, and literally in the middle of the night, I woke up
had
with
to
like
shit.
it was the worst stomach pains ever. Like it felt like I had food poisoning or some shit.
Did you
Like
shit?
I shat, and then I was just like laying on like the floor of my bathroom,
didn't make
like
you
in the
feel
fetal
better?
position.
When you got it
Like,
out, it didn't make you feel better?
no, like I
Oh,
couldn't even
shit.
really go to the bathroom. It was just like that shit fucked me up. So I don't even know if I want to try it again. But it was
No,
banging
don't
when I
have it
ate
again. It was that for sure. 100%.
it. Think so?
Oh, hell yeah.
But I think the way I ate it, like, so I was taking a nap, woke up, had it real quick, and then I think like watched some TV and then just went to sleep. So I was like half asleep while I ate it. So I don't
Nah,
know.
that shit
Don't
that
eat
shit
it
was
again.
Well, maybe you undercooked it. You think there's a chance you undercooked it?
I didn't cook it. My wife did it. She might have
Oh,
poisoned.
no, so that shit is fine. So don't have it again because
Don't,
that shit, yeah, because that sounds like you got food poisoning from it.
My whole day at work, my stomach was like
Oh.
making weird sounds.
At
Like the
work,
kid next to
too?
me must have been like. And then I went to the bathroom, and this is weird because like if someone else is in the bathroom with you, I always feel weird about just like letting it all go. Like if I'm in a public bathroom, I'll let it fly. But at work, I was farting like a motherfucker.
Yeah. No, it's funny because my buddy, he used to work at a place that had one of those, like on a floor in a building in the city.
Mhm.
It was a public bathroom.
Oof.
And that shit had like fucking 50 stalls just all the way down. And he said he would go in there in the morning, and every day, dudes would just be straight up performing a symphony with their ass.
Yeah. That's
Just-
like there was that episode of Family Guy when they were
Yes,
playing. Like,
that's what it was like.
but I saw that episode. I was like, I can't really relate to that. Like, I didn't think it was that funny when they were doing the music and all that. But that's what like a real office workplace like shitting is.
Yeah,
like,
when it's that big, the bathroom's that big, and you got that many people.
yeah.
And look, man, I'm on like a personal jihad against those kinds of bathrooms because like, what the fuck is the point? Like, people get, oh my god, transgender bathrooms are,
I would prefer those over like just 3 stalls though.
I would prefer one fucking thing per thing. Like, if you're gonna have 50 fucking toilets, what's the difference between doing the plumbing 50 in a row and doing it in 50 little fucking spaces that are off everybody's office or their cubicle or some shit? Like, just
Yeah,
put
I mean that would take
put
up so much more
man.
space.
No, make like little ones in the corner of every fucking thing.
Well, yeah, you're right. If they chop down that 50 stall bathroom and use that
Yeah.
space for more desks,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
just-
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Who fucking decided one day, like, what would be really normal if we all shit next to each other? Like, who decided that's in the realm of possible shit? Like, I would be less offended if there was a fuck room where you walk in and people just straight fucking. Like, you see the girl from the mail room and the dude who's the fucking, the vice president of sales, and they're just fucking straight boning in the room.
You'd be more comfortable with that.
Yeah, that shit doesn't stink. Like, that shit is more sanitary. It doesn't smell bad. Whereas people fucking ripping ass in the room that you're supposed to go in when you gotta pee or something. That shit is mad disrespectful. You walk in and some dude is straight dumping out their life out of their ass.
I've heard it before, but today I was that dude. Like, I let one fucking, I let one fart out, and then like there was a dude like 2 stalls down.
He left?
No, he didn't leave. He didn't leave. But I was on some
No,
shit.
did he
where, like,
laugh? Did he laugh?
oh, I don't know. I
would've
was
laughed
laughing.
hard.
I was trying to hold back my laugh. And I was like, this dude probably is like, what the fuck? But then again, I was like, I've been in there. I've been on the other side of that equation where I'm just taking a piss, and I've heard someone let it fly, who confidently let it fly, and I was like, I would laugh a little bit, but they were just on some like, I'm in a bathroom, like this is what we do, you know?
Yeah, man. Look, I don't. You know, that whole thing to me is like, it's kind of like the situation that I had on airplanes with turbulence. Remember how I told you I somehow, it was like a miracle that I went like 6 or 7 flights when I was a kid and never hit turbulence, and then I one time hit turbulence when I was like 22 or some shit. Like, that's me with fucking people ripping ass in a public bathroom. Like, I've somehow gone like 99% of my life and never, I don't know if I've ever walked into a bathroom and heard somebody like seriously fucking just shitting their brains out or farting. Like, no, I'm lying. Maybe it happened like once where it was like a solid fucking fart.
But you're almost like, yo, that's weird as hell. But then you're like, no, he's in a bathroom. That's where he has to be doing it.
Yeah, but that's why I'm like I don't want to get to the point where I'm like comfortable with that shit. Where you walk into a room and somebody's sitting there like, and you're like, yeah, that's what we do in this room. Like, I don't want to get to that point. I would rather have, like, they should really fucking just redo the whole idea of public bathrooms. Like, put little bathrooms in the corner.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, and also there's this stuff I bought, which is the amazing stuff. I don't know why this hasn't caught on more yet, but it's basically this stuff that you spray in the toilet twice.
Poopery?
Before you shit, and then it doesn't smell at all.
Yeah, does that really work?
It works, man. It works.
Really?
It works. It's amazing. It's amazing.
That is pretty amazing.
So people who are like,
but it's sort of masking some nasty ass smell that you know is there. It's like some deodorant on a fucking sweaty ass nasty person.
No, the thing that's masking it would be the chemical spray, like the Lysol or whatever. That's masking it, because then you got that stench in the air, but you also got the chemicals over the top of the smell.
Yeah.
But with this shit, you spray it, and what happens is like the oils of somehow, I don't know how it works, but the oils somehow keep the smell down in the toilet. And so then when you flush it, it doesn't get in the air. So
that seems hard to believe.
No, but think about it though, man. First of all, it works. So think about
it does work though, because my uncle he was telling me about that shit a while ago.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. So imagine like, people like you just moved in with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or some shit, and you're like, we're not at I don't want to fucking rip ass in front of this person or whatever, or take a shit. Like, you just spray that and you're good. It like removes a whole fucking thing. Like, that should be, if you're gonna have the public bathrooms. Huh?
Like, if you're dating a girl and you've got that you're at your house, not like your house, but you're at your house, and you go to the bathroom and see a little less of that in the bottle.
Oh no, the bottle's not clear. You
blew
can't see it.
Oh, okay. That would be
I don't
smart.
need to look. I'm not a baby. I know human beings shit. I don't need to like fucking
but not enough
protect
that you
myself
have to
from
mask
that.
it.
What?
Like, not enough. Like, I wouldn't want my girl coming over the first time and like ripping some crazy ass where like I know she sprayed that shit because she knew that she had to rip some crazy ass.
You're thinking too deep into it, dog.
I know. That's how I think.
You're like more offended by the fact that women shit than the smell. Yeah. Like, I'm disgusted by the smell, not the fact that they shit. Like, that's fine.
I don't mind smells. Sometimes like a fart could have a unique like good smell to it.
That's the worst thing you've ever said.
Sometimes I'll fart, I'll be like, I can fucks with that one. No, I don't even know if I believe that on.
That's not true. There are ones that don't smell as bad as others, but there's never like, oh my god, that one smells like cologne.
Yeah. Nobody
ever said, oh yes,
not
that
bad.
Smells like Tide detergent. That's amazing.
I don't know. I felt weird just blowing it up. Because then again, I thought about like this too. I was like, if you take away this wall right now,
like, you're shitting in front of like 200 people.
I thought just in the bathroom. I was just like, it's just a weird concept.
People walk in, they just
take away the left wall.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like me and some dude with our pants down, like just sitting on a toilet shitting. Like, it's such a weird. It's so weird.
Wait, I got another idea, son. So they also, if they're not gonna do this oily spray shit that gets rid of the smell, or they're not gonna do the individual little bathrooms everywhere, at least have it like each stall. Like, it's not just a stall. It's like little rooms within the bathroom. You see what I'm saying? So that, like, so people can't really, if they hear it, it's more muffled through the fucking wall. Like, in other words, put walls around everything, not just a stall. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I agree with that,
like, so little shit rooms as opposed to, like, one giant disgusting bathroom where there's grossness everywhere. Yeah. That's just a little more privacy.
Yeah.
Some houses have that. Like, little rooms where, okay, here's the bathroom, but then that's where the toilet is where you can close the door. Yeah, like, why not?
That would be 100 times better. Because there's tons of bathrooms, too, where they have those cracks on there, too, so you can, like, sort of see.
Yes.
And I'm like,
what the fuck is that shit?
I don't even want you seeing, like, I don't even want the thought of me maybe thinking that you could see me when you really can't see me.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, I hate it, too.
Because I'm like on my phone, and I don't want, like, you know, I'm like, oh, someone's gonna walk by, and like, I know they can't see me, but they can see me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, don't expose my shoes. Don't put me on blast.
So you're like me. You probably never shit in public until you had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never.
Today was a rough day because that I'm telling you, that rice shit fucked my stomach up.
Was that the first time ever you shit in public? I'm not sure I ever shit in public before.
No, yeah, I've shit in public.
I've done at hotels, obviously. I've done it, but not in public.
Yeah, I did it in public. The other thing weird is, when it's not a urinal, but it's just the one long. You ever seen that?
Yeah,
at like
what the
sporting
fuck
event?
are they thinking there?
That's like old school because they have it at old baseball stadiums and stuff like that. It's just one long fucking trough, I think it's called, or something like that.
Yeah,
those are weird.
Those are weird. I don't know why. At least do individual urinals and at least put up the fucking barriers. But even with the barriers, I
prefer a porta potty. Like porta potties, you could let it rock.
Yeah,
people hate them shits.
Have you ever had the dudes fucking peek over? I've had that shit happen.
Oh yeah.
And have you ever had the dudes just like the fucking thing that Shaq tweeted out where he got a lot of shit for it? Where like you're at a urinal and a dude walks up right next to you and there's like 4 other. I've had that happen to me, and I'm like, why the fuck did you come next to me? And I hate that, too, with parking. Like, if you're parked in a lot, and then there's a incredible number of open spots, and somebody just pulls in right next to your shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck would you park here?
Yep. I'm the type, I park so far away from wherever I'm going, just because, like, I don't, not that I have a nice car or anything like that, but I
do that, too.
Like, there's some people that, like, will drive all the way to the front and squeeze between 2 cars. I'll walk.
Me too. I like putting my shit in the back corner.
Yep,
Put it in the back corner and just walk. I got no problem with walking.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm the same.
So, all right, I think we can end it on the shitting conversation.
I woke up. It was just like, I woke up, and I was like, ran to the bathroom. And then was just like, I like had cold sweats, and I just fell off the toilet like onto the ground. It was almost like, I was in so much pain. Like, but it only lasted like 10 minutes.
Do you normally have a sensitive stomach? You do.
Yeah, super weak.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I do. I think my stomach's kind of top notch usually.
Yeah, I've seen you house some nachos and just like we used to crush the nachos from Mickey's. You remember?
I do, and the chili cheese fries.
Chili cheese fries. That's what I was about to say.
I could kill those shits.
Oh man, those were the days.
I would eat Taco Bell too, and never shit. Like a lot of people told me horror stories. They ate Taco Bell and they shit their brains out. That never happened.
Taco Bell, I'm usually okay with. Like we said before, Chipotle gets me sometimes because I think they have like. Chipotle. It doesn't get you?
Nah, but I think it's that sauce that you said that you have that I don't have. Yeah. That's the problem.
No, but I definitely have a weak stomach for. That one killed me yesterday, but Burger King has this new chicken parm sandwich. Did you see that?
Chicken parm sandwich?
Yes,
no,
sir.
I haven't had. Did you have the crispy chicken yet or no?
No, I haven't had that.
You gotta have that shit.
I'm gonna try that.
I'll have the chicken parm shit. You have that shit.
I'm gonna.
The chicken parm one was banging.
I haven't had it. I just saw
okay. I thought you were gonna tell me you had it and it was good.
It's gonna be banging. You know, they don't fuck around.
Yeah.
But I like the long chicken sandwich too much to go after the. Like, I feel like I'd be cheating a long chicken sandwich.
At the very least, you're going to say it's even to that. At the very least, you're going to say it's even to that.
I sort of love that sandwich. So.
I know, but this shit, I'm telling you, man, this shit, if you liked old school McDonald's crispy chicken sandwich, this shit is that. Like, it's basically that. Yeah, like, it's on the level with that, so.
Okay.
That's what
Someone was telling me today about, you remember there was a deli, I think it was Lang's or Leo's or something, or Leo, the Ave. Well, there was the Ave.
The Ave, and then the other one, I think, was Leo's. Was it Leo's?
Was it Leo's? Yeah, and they had that one, like it was like a chicken sandwich with melted mozzarella and like bacon, and then they had the Russian dressing on it.
The Rulin, it was called. The Rulin.
The Rulin.
Yeah, named after the coach of Iona, the former coach
Good
of Iona.
memory.
Because I had that shit a bunch of times.
That
When I went to school at
sandwich was
Iona,
the
I would get that shit.
That sandwich was the shit.
Damn, I'm hungry now, man.
And they changed it to Eatery on the Ave, and they tried to get all fancy, and I was like, nah, you got to just keep it.
Yeah, you got to keep it old school, man. You got to keep
Those
it.
are the best places.
Yeah, when you walk in, nothing looks crazy, but it's just like you can tell it's all about the food, the place.
Yep.
Yeah, as opposed to, oh, look, they got a fucking nice light up and nice floors.
Fuck
like,
that.
fuck that is right.
Don't renovate.
Don't renovate. Just keep it gangster.
All right,
All right, guys.
You see these things?
You did
Spinners?
this last time. We're having deja vu here. Yeah, you were showing me this
It's just right
last
by
time.
the computer. I just picked it up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get good with it. Not really. It's not even mine.
Okay. On that random note, all right, guys, we love you, and we good next week, Cor? You?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, much love. Is that Sammy Sosa's thing? Is that what he does?
Yeah. Oh my God! Did you see Sammy Sosa recently?
No, is he white now?
He's white and scary looking as fuck.
I'm
Look at a
gonna
picture of him when
I'm gonna look him up as soon as we're done.
creepy.
All right, later, guys. Love you. We'll talk to you
Sosa.
soon. Peace.